say. Aside from the 5 reasons why you should use email, there are also 5 reasons to consider before really using email as your mode of communication. Number one is convenience is not good all the time. Since email is very convenient, it's easy to use, and it's accessible by almost everyone, it's becoming out of hand because other people take it for granted by asking questions regarding the previous email they've made with their correspondence. They're asking questions even though the questions were possibly already addressed in that email. This habit of not checking the email carefully results into an overload in their online mailbox, and because of that, they are having a hard time of identifying and determining which emails should be their priority to read, open, and give a response to. Another thing is that email is not really your option for every task because other objectives can be achieved through a simple phone call or a face-to-face communication. So you really have to know whether email is the best option for you and your recipients or your audience. To further establish the point of the first reason, the second reason is that you are within the reach of everyone. Meaning, when other people finds out what your email address is, they have now the means to contact and reach out to you. Other people can take advantage of this by sending you emails that are irrelevant to the things that you are doing. The emails you will get need to be reviewed to know their urgency and importance to you, and this will take time, and because of that, you will be interrupted from what you were originally doing. The third reason is turning tables. The automatic function of email wherein every piece of information about the exchanges of the users are automatically saved is considered as a double-edged sword because even though the saved documents, saved information can act as a proof for your cause, it can also defend the stand or the reputation of those who are really on the fault. And sometimes these incompetent colleagues can pass their blame to you or to other people. So having that feature on email is really a double-edged sword and can be used by other people for their own benefit without thinking the damage it will do to their fellow or to their colleagues. Fourth reason is that editable equals risk. One of the dangers of using email as your platform for communicating is that your messages are editable and may be revised to inflict damage to you. This is why it's important to be careful and cautious as much as possible when sending confidential information about yourself or anyone. Because attachments that you input in your emails are editable. So, a great solution for this is to save your file or the attachment that you will include in your email as a PDF format so that it won't be modifiable. Lastly, the fifth reason to consider before really using email as your mode of communication is that think before you click that attachment because the attachments that you receive or send may carry viruses that came from the internet. And this action may be deliberately done in order to gain access to your device or your personal accounts and information. Or maybe it's a genuine mistake made by one of your correspondents and it's highly possible that their devices are already infected. So it's really important to be cautious about these things. Another thing to think about when we're talking about attachments is their storage because our devices has its limitations and some attachments have big space, and when we download this it consumes all our storage, making it hard for our devices to function well the way it used to be. So these 5 things are important to consider before really using email as your means of reaching out to your recipients. And now that we're done discussing when to use email, we'll now tackle the parts of it. Writing an effective email is easy if the sender is knowledgeable about the parts of the email and how to use them the best way they can. According to a study, 64% of the users make their decision based solely on the subject line, whether to open an email or not. The subject line is the first part the recipients will see as soon as they receive the notification. In the subject line, it consists of the brief, summarized info regarding the content of your email. In order to make your subject line easy to understand, you may follow this format from the book of Fanning entitled Effective Emails, the Secret to Straightforward Communication at Work. As you can see here in this picture that I've provided, for single topic emails, you have to put in the first part of your subject line, if only necessary, your urgency, the urgency of the matter, plus the topic, some summarized topic, and lastly, the purpose of that email. And the second part of your email is the sender. You can see here the email address. After the sender, the next part of your email is the recipient, and there are two types of it. The carbon copy and blind carbon copy. A sender uses the carbon copy for better transparency, and this is also known as courtesy copy. On the other hand, the blind carbon copy is used for a far more discreet exchange of information, because in the CC, every respondents are visible to one another. In the BCC, only your own reply and your own email address are visible to you. And likewise to the other recipients, they can only see what's their email address, the email address of the sender, and their own replies, while the replies of the other recipients of that email are not visible for them. After the recipients, the next part of your email will be the salutation, wherein the greetings for the receivers, their names, and professional titles, if available, are included. And then after this, it's now your email body. An email body is usually 3 to 4 sentences long, and the main gist of the email is available on the beginning part, because usually receivers are overwhelmed by their workloads that they usually focuses more on the beginning part of your email, and the latter part of it are usually ignored. So it's important to take note of that you should start your email with the most important part of your message. After composing your email body, you are now at the closing remarks. This includes your gratitude or other ways of ending your message to show respect for your recipients. And then your signature, because aside from the closing remarks, a signature is also included in an email to maintain the formality until the end of the message. The name and position of the senders is what usually used in signing their emails, while businesses use their logos, company name, and other information about them. Your signature block should be descriptive and contain the accounts you have on other platforms so that the recipients of your email could access these accounts and reach out to you on other platforms if this platform or the email is not available for you or for them at that moment. And finally, we are now at the attachment part. An attachment is sometimes included in an email if the email body is not enough to explain or tell the recipients what is the sender trying to tell to them.